I would like to give you some tips how to prepare for the exam. Okay, as you all know, the exam has three stages: the preliminary stage, the main stage, and the interview stage. In the preliminary stage, it is some techniques and some patterns of the exam which you need to understand in the preliminary stage of the exam. Here, every year you are going to see a new trend in the exam, and spontaneity is very, very important for prelims exam. Here, I have observed those who revised the basics well and those who has good knowledge on current affairs, they are winning the exam. Particularly if you see, if you do practice tests, hundreds of mock exams before going into prelims exam, final exam, then you can easily succeed. Generally we think that after reading the syllabus, after completing the entire syllabus, we can go to the mock exams for prelims. That is a wrong conception. Whenever you read a chapter, do multiple choice questions on it. Whenever you read a current affairs, frame a question on it in the prelims perspective, mains perspective, and interview perspective. First thing is, understand the pulse of the exam. Whenever you read a chapter or whenever you read a current affair, kindly prepare a multiple choice question on it. That's very important. And second thing is linking static syllabus with the dynamic syllabus. Linking static syllabus with the dynamic syllabus is a trend of the exam. I wish to tell you a few examples. For example, yesterday, ISRO have launched PSLV C-51 mission. In that mission, we have sent the primary satellite along with 18 co-passenger satellites. The primary satellite Amazonia 1, Brazil satellite. So that is the current affairs. But the static portion is PSLV missions and PSLV launches, the success of PSLV, that is static. PSLV versus GSLV, all these things. So PSLV, GSLV, Amazonia satellite, all these things you need to connect and study. That is the Amazonia satellite launch yesterday. Along with that, you need to connect with the PSLV launches and GSLV launches and the successes and the types of satellites, all these things. And with respect to current affairs, we have to divide that static and current affairs into our subjects. For example, yesterday we have seen space technology. From last 1 week, we have a concept in defense technology, Arjun tank. In Arjun tank, what is tank technology? Initially, which country helped us in building tank technology? Russia. And indigenously in India, we are producing tanks in Avadi near Chennai. So, what are Arjun tank, Bhishma tank, Ajaya tank? How tanks are useful? So, any news in defense? So, space technology, defense technology. So, in science and technology, all these things, Industrial Revolution 4.0, artificial intelligence, 5G technology, robotics, nano robotics, all the upcoming subjects, you need to follow the current affairs in newspapers. As you are preparing for civil service exam, every day you should allot some time for making notes in current affairs. First thing is this, that is the defense technology, space technology, and science and technology current affairs. Then you should divide your current affairs note making into science and technology, polity, history, geography, environment, ecology, art and culture, international affairs, etc. For example, in polity, last 1 week you are seeing the episodes in Puducherry. First of all, appointment of new lieutenant governor in Puducherry. And what are the powers of lieutenant governor in Puducherry? Trust vote in Puducherry. All these things are important with respect to polity. And recently, the opposition parties asked the Speaker of Lok Sabha, don't stamp, certify normal bills, ordinary bills as money bills. So you should read about money bill, Article 110, 109 of the Indian Constitution. And recently you have seen many defections in our Indian political system, in parliament, in state legislatures. So you should read about anti-defection law, all these things. So there are so many current affairs from various subjects. For example, in polity, governor's post and the dismantling of some of the governments, the president's rule, Article 356 of the Indian Constitution, all these things. And you all know the regular topics, the union territories, repeal of Article 370 and Article 35A, and the other things like Lieutenant Governor and NCT of Delhi, all these things. So, current affairs in science and technology, current affairs in polity will help you to take a lead in static subjects also. Take, for example, economy. In economy, we have many basic things. The recent economic survey also spoke about basic things. And various schemes of Indian government, for example, Ujjwala Yojana, where Prime Minister announced 1 crore more connections, non-performing assets, and how government and RBI, they are dealing with the problem of NPS, and basic concepts in Indian economy like inflation, unemployment, stagflation, all these things, and how we could not maintain the FRBM targets now, and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives, infrastructural development. All these are trending topics in economy. You have to divide your current affairs into subjects. Okay, polity, science and technology, economy. In history, if you see, we are celebrating Subhash Chandra Bose, Parakram Divas. So you should read about Subhash Chandra Bose and 100 years of Chauri Chaura incident and the commitment to non-violence, non-cooperation movement, all these things. Even in history, you have to follow certain current trends. That's very important, even in history. And recently you are observing Bhima Koregaon case issue. And where did it happen? When did it happen? What is this Bhima Koregaon victory? All these things. In art and culture, if you see last 1 week, 10 days news, Konark Sun Festival, Khajuraho Dance Festival, Konark Sun Festival, Khajuraho Dance Festival, all these things are coming up in news. Arts, culture, dance, languages, missing languages, all these things. In environment, 5 years of Paris climate deal. We all know that COP21, Paris climate deal in 2015, and by 2020 December, 5 years completed for Paris climate deal, and commitments of various countries in Paris climate deal. And in newspapers from last 2-3 days, we are getting so much of news about turtles, particularly giant leatherback turtles, and Andaman Nicobar developmental projects, effects to environmentalism, all these things. So even in environment, you can combine static syllabus with dynamic syllabus. In geography, if you see the last month, Uttarakhand floods, flash floods, and disasters, the reasons, and other things. Whatever you find in various subjects, you can mix up and study with the static and dynamic portion. Coming to the trending news, social media, their impact, Priya Ramani case and Me Too movement, migrant workers and their issues, farm bills and other labor codes and other things. Salaries, recently, the manifesto of Kamal Hassan's political party announced that the party aims to give salaries for the domestic work also. These type of topics, uh, leave for paternity leave, social media, LGBT issues, all these things are trending up in the recent past, and how we should spend to our health sector, particularly what the lessons we have learned in the era of COVID, and how the post COVID India will be in the health sector, all these things. As aspirants of civil services examination, I wish to tell you, civil service exam is not a tough nut to crack if you plan well. It takes 2 to 3 years of preparation, but if you have a planning and discipline in the preparation, you will succeed. Generally, students ask me how much time we need to invest to prepare the exam, to prepare for the exam. Every day, if you sit for 8 to 10 hours and have a meticulous planning, you can succeed in the exam. What is that planning all about? That planning is how you are completing your basics, that is your NCRT books, 6th class to 12th class, prepare your notes on it. Even NCRT book note making is very important. As you are all in your graduation, you can have good time to prepare notes in the NCRT books. And then after reading NCRT, study standard books. For polity, D.D. Basu, Subhash Kashyap. For history, you read Bipin Chandra, and for ancient and medieval, read NCRTs. And for geography, read Goching Liang, Mazid Hussain, along with NCRT geography. And for economy, NCRTs and Ramesh Singh, all these books. Science and technology, Tata McGrail, written by Ravi Agrahari. Environment ecology, ICSE, and also NCRT textbooks. If you read all these basic books and if you go through that, you can get well in the exam. And the best way to prepare for civil service exam is half the day you prepare, half the day you go for writing practice, half the day you prepare for the exam, half the day you go for writing practice. Every day try to make half an hour or 1 hour notes, particularly essay writing practice and answer writing practice. Those who have good writing practice in their college level, those who write for 6 months every day, half an hour to 1 hour, they have good chances in succeeding the exam. Good writing practice is very, very important for the success in civil service exam. In the same way, as I have seen you, it is a civil services club. If you can become groups and have debates on various topics, it is very good for the examination. Every week, you can make 4 or 5 or 10 persons as a group and have a competition on various discussions on various contemporary issues like UNSC reforms, like impact of social media on the Indian society, like youth culture today, like sports development in India. Similar topics, you can have your own discussions. It's very, very important. Okay.